Hi, this is Olivier. Well, it's August. It's very calm, and just wanted to go through a simple way to trade, really, and remind. I need basically to remind myself, and with repetition over and over, how to trade. Basically, my system. Okay, I have a system that gives me an edge. I'm sure of that. But the main thing is to become disciplined and use that system and not go all over the place and say, well, my system doesn't work, etc. There's a very good book called The Disciplined Trader. And in that book, he explains very clearly that let's say you have a system that gives you, that is fairly good, doesn't have to be the best system in the world, and you do 10 trades, 6 trades go wrong, you give up, you don't do the seventh trade, and you say the system doesn't work. Well, that's not how it works really, because if statistically you can have 2 trades winning, 3 trades losing, 6 trades losing, 5 trades winning, etc. So you must take every trade, okay, that your system tells you to trade. That doesn't mean you have to take bad trades, because not trading sometimes is a way to trade, it is a method. Because in my case, for instance, I have about a 90% win rate. There are times I just don't take trades for a long time because the setup is not proper. Okay, so the rule number one is if you have a system, take every trade your system tells you to trade, even though you've seen on CNBC or something, or you get influenced by other things, or somebody calls you, or your friend says, "Oh my God, the market's going to go down." Don't listen to anybody. Isolate yourself. Don't put on the TV. Follow your system. Okay. Machines are good for that. That's what's great about MT4 is that machines can mechanize your system, which is exactly what I've done with a black box. Mechanize my system so my rules are done whatever I think or not. Sometimes you're tempted to turn off the machine and start again. That's what most people do, and they give you a bad review and say it doesn't work because they haven't left it on long enough and they haven't understood the principle of this taking trades every time they're available. Okay, this is a Renko chart. Renko chart's very interesting because the market can do 3 things. Okay, it can go up, it can go down, or it can do nothing. Okay, the Renko chart, as you can see, has basically no time axis. Okay, unless you're using an ATR Renko chart, but let's not go into that. It has no time axis. So basically, each of these boxes, okay, can take 3 minutes, it can take a day, etc. If one box like this stays like this for a day, which does happen, uh, you don't have movement. If you don't have movement, you can't trade really, because either you're playing up, you're playing down, or you're playing no movement. There are strategies to buy and sell at the same time, which may be worth it. I don't know, but first of all, you need to check if there's movement. Renko chart is probably the best way to do that, and I call this God, and it is God. And I have an EA that I give out free that will take these points here very simply, and even if you don't want to, it'll buy here, okay, sell here, and well, it hasn't bought yet because you need 3 boxes. So sometimes you get very disappointed by Renko. If you go back, you get these choppy times, okay, which is terrible. Uh, but as you can see, you think there's no pattern in the market right now, but there technically is. August type, you know, up and down. People are definitely buying here, selling here, buying here. So there's no real direction in the euro right now. It's dropped a lot. It's trying to come back. Last week was a bit of a surprising spike up, back up. Is that artificial? I think it's artificial. I think it's hedge funds, the low volume, etc. Holiday. Let's see in September what happens. Let's see when the big boys come back from the Hamptons. Be careful with your lots because you could be very surprised if you're starting to trade bigger lots now because there's not movement. All of a sudden you get very surprised by a huge move that can take out your entire account. So be careful in thin markets not to increase your lots too much. But what I want to do here again is let's go through this probably one of the best trading techniques there is. And the one I use, and I've of course mechanized it. But you can do it by hand. You don't need, if you don't want to buy anything, you can do it. And let's go through it again. So first of all, here we're going to put up three charts, okay, and we do three things. First thing we do is put up the daily, okay. I'm going to talk about the euro, and I'm putting up the euro daily Heiken Ashi chart, okay, and all I'm going to look at is the last candle. Right? This is the last candle. It's red, which means today uh, I'm going to trade the euro. My main trend is down. Heiken Ashi red. Whatever anybody says, I'm going to try and find occasions to short the euro. Okay? That's the first thing I did. Simple. Go back and look at it. Second chart you put up is a 1 hour Heiken Ashi chart, which now will give you basically start refining things. I've got a 20-minute moving average, 20 period moving average here, which basically you look at the sub of the average, it's saying down. Okay? It's saying down. What did we say before? Based on the daily, it looked down, didn't it? This is confirming that the market is going down. So what do you want to do? You want to do a short, but you want to do, so basically if you stay underneath the 20 moving average, that's a pretty good short, isn't it? So you're looking for a shorting opportunity. Here it's gone above the bar. Is this a shorting opportunity? I would probably wait to break that bar down to short. That would be my first position. Okay. Now let me show you also that you can add, and this is where my method becomes a little bit more complicated. I use Bollinger Bands, of course, as you know. I use optimized Bollinger Bands. So I've taken Bollinger one step further. I'm not going to go back into that because I have about 150 videos on this. The Bollinger Bands is giving me my ranges on top of the bottom. This is definitely an area to buy for me, and this is an area to sell. So this is an easy way of doing it. But my EA calculates a very, very exact strategic points to come in and out. And I want them exact because I don't want to have to bother about, that. Bollinger did his research on 2 and 20, which basically covers 80% of the trading should happen between these 2 points, you see. But what I'm interested in is what makes my difference different is the tail point. And here I have 250 lines of code that tells me what to do when I'm in this area. So I can tell people that, yeah, I'm going to do something when I'm on top or down the bottom, but how do I do it? Here you can walk down the band, you can come in at the wrong time. Let's say this has gone down here, and you would have made a contrarian trade, it would have been the wrong one. So it's not that easy to do. That's why I have a BBSO scalper. Okay, the third thing you do is basically now you're going to look at your entries because you've decided you're going to short the market, right? Everything's telling you short. So now we're on a 15-minute Heiken Ashi chart, okay? And we're going to look for points short. Now, the first rule is you don't do your entire position in one go. You divide it by 5, okay? Or if you want to use some more scientific method, you can take the average of 14 days of ATR and divide that by 5 to find some steps in which to do a basket. But I'll leave you restudy that, rewind it. It's in my EA anyway. It'll do it for you. But if you want to do it that way, you can do it. But let's say you do it by hand. So you're looking for a short. This is a position here. Look, you're looking for positions to short. So up here you might go, okay, look, we've had a change in color. I'm going to try a short here. So you've had a short, that's not too bad. Okay, so you've had one trade here. Again, you go here, I'm going to do a short. Okay, boom, 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 boom. It has worked very well. Do you get out here? Let's say you stay in. Let's say you stay in. You're a normal person. You say, oh, I still think it's going to go down, God damn it. And it goes up here. So now you're looking for, the what some call the loss recovery, etc. You're going to start doing a basket, okay? And the basket is only 5 positions long. You've got your first position. You can do a second position somewhere here. Hopefully it'll go down. You might do a third position, fourth position, and that's it. I'm not going to do any more, Okay. Now, when the basket comes into profit, you take all your positions out. As simple as that. Okay. This is how you trade. And if you basically, I know I don't use stops, okay, because basically I prefer to do this step averaging, which is done by my EA for me, so I don't have to worry about it. Or I prefer to use one trade as I do at the moment, because if the first trade is not working, I'm just going to hang on to it a little while. Because if I'm shorting the euro and it's eventually it will get there. My position's not too big. And that's what I do. I'm not going to wait to get stuffed out. I'm not going to give all my money to brokers. I'm not going to do like a lot of people, get 8 trades stopped out and 2 trades at work and hopefully make 3 or 4% every month. I'm making not very much this month, but it's not because I've been stopped out. Okay, it's because the market's not moving. So let's get this right. Okay, now, just to finish off, just tell you again what my EA does, the scalper. I'm just using it on the main module right now, which is the best module there is. And you can see here that the scalper is telling me, well, this is the more advanced version of it because it has the 20 moving average, but normally in the scalper you'll just get the normal BBSO trend. It says no trend, which basically means it's a ranging market, so it's going to start ranging. But here you can tell that the 20 moving average 1 hour, which you can look at yourself, is basically saying up short term. So anyway, what my EA is going to do is by using the Bollinger Bands that are optimized. You can see the red ones, they've been optimized. They optimize every 12 hours. You put the number of trades to make a basket in. It's been optimized at 60 and 2.25. Now, when you think Bollinger's at 20 and 2, you can see why there's not many trades at the moment done by the EA, okay? The EA probably would have sold around here, I would think, if all the conditions were met. I can't tell straight away, but I have quite a few conditions to be met. First of all, it needs to be in a ranging. Let's say this is a very strong uptrend. It probably will not take the trade. That is a safety feature. If it needs to be in a ranging, all sorts of conditions. I have 60 videos explaining it over and over again. Anyway, this has probably been a short which was taken and probably some profits taken out here. Okay, so that's not too bad. And we're waiting for the next trade. We may have had one here, but I don't think this one qualified. And now we're going up here and it's probably going to do a trade here. Now this is my setting. It's not exactly the setting I have on the signal because I made a bet to myself to use a very small signal, which is between $50 and $100 at the moment, and prove that my system works on any amount. You don't need $50,000. You don't need the smokes and mirrors, etc. And I had some experimental, some people come in for a month and made quite a lot of money using a very large account on $50 because the MT4 system multiplies your trades out. You can be trading on a $50 signal, you can be multiplying that out to 0.5 lots and making a lot of money. So don't laugh at a $50 signal. They're actually quite better than a $10,000 signal because you can easily drown bad trades in a big cent signal because you can take large drawdowns, etc. But whenever it's your own account and you're putting $50,000 down and you're seeing a $10,000 drawdown and okay, it may come back the next day, whatever. I think that's a pretty stressful way to live. I don't know, people want to do that and they go, oh, this is a great EA. I think that's pretty stressful. So I prefer my method, which is right here in front of you, extremely simple. I have 4 modules, so it's 4 bots in one. You can use the trend module, which is based on Renko. I also give out a free Renko EA and setup and instructions on how to set it up. It's quite good. Plus the EA will trade for you automatically to Renko, so you won't have to worry about it. And I also give out, for those who want, a free breakout module, which basically uses low volatility, what I call a squeeze, what is called a squeeze.